Welcome inside the Football Man Cave. I am Ian Foran, and this is Lovey. We're back, week 2.
Yeah.
Enjoyed last week.
It was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was alright.
I don't dare ask you, how have you been? What have you been up to? I mean, we speak every day, so I don't even... I know what's...
Yeah, and do you know what? I've not got a beer in my body today, so
No.
I'm alright.
No beef today?
No, nothing. No, I'm not really... It's pundit... They still do me head in. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what?
No, it's not the pundits so much. It's, like I said last time, it's the people who are presenting it. The presenters do me head in.
There's only 4 more days to go.
Yeah.
5 more days to go.
5 more.
We're going to speak about that in a bit.
Yeah.
A bit of a conflog. It's like, we always go, right, leave it for the podcast. Leave it, let's just...
Yeah, no, I think that's a bit of a killer, that, when you, like, when you mates, and you're always chatting anyway.
Yeah.
You talk about something, and then you go, oh no, leave that for the podcast, and then you don't talk about it, and then you leave it.
Then you forget.
Whereas if it was just a day-to-day thing, you'd just chat about it and then move on to the next one.
My notes just full of, like, just remember about talking about that.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get into Lovey's Tales.
Sweet.
Now, we spoke about it last week.
Yeah.
We had to stop ourselves, obviously, because it's...
Yeah, we was itching
so
too,
much.
weren't we?
Yeah.
We was getting giddy for
but
it.
It's, is it Sir Brian Clough? Is United?
I don't know, mate. I couldn't tell you. I honestly couldn't tell you if he's United or not.
I don't know. I feel like it's Sir Brian Clough.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to call him that anyway.
Do you know what, right? This all come about when we was doing a radio show, wasn't it? And we was... I think I said this last time. We do Manchester radio, but I was looking for good stories about good people, and you hear so much about Brian Clough. I just thought, let me have a look at a couple of these documentaries that has been done around him.
Do you know what I've liked? As I said last week, that TikTok of Brian Clough, like interviews and little bits and bobs. But I also love the Neil Warnock ones as well. Have you seen them?
Yeah, they're pretty funny.
They're hilarious.
I know players that have played for Neil Warnock.
Maybe.
So I've got an opinion of Neil Warnock,
right,
of what I've been told by other people, and I hate it when people do that. You know, like when somebody says to you, like they'll just mention somebody's name and then they'll tell you how much they hate them, and then instantly you don't like them.
Yeah.
Like I try not to give people the opinion of what mine is.
Hate by someone else.
Yeah, and that's...
He's an knobhead, him. I met him though.
Pretty much. I hate... Well, I don't hate him, that's a bit of a strong word, but I dislike Neil Warnock because of what some ex-teammates of mine have said about him when he managed them at Bury Football Club.
Wow.
Yeah, and he was just a knob.
Well, get into that one week.
Yeah. But this Brian Clough one, so I watched I Believe in Miracles. Now, there's the documentary of Damned United, and then I Believe in Miracles is around Nottingham Forest.
Right.
So I thought to myself, you know what, let me do a little bit of digging, because what we hear about Brian Clough, people tell you he's a legend, and he was an unreal manager, but I don't know why. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
because
people,
it's not past our era, but
yeah.
Like,
well, it was beyond.
Yeah.
It was beyond our era. It was like 70s.
I know for me, just remember him as getting relegated to Forest.
Yeah. Because when we started knowing football, it was 92.
Yeah.
92, 93, like Premier League. Like, I
basically.
think mine was a little bit more like I remember the last 2 first divisions.
Right.
When Leeds won it, and then the first Premier League, but the Clough era and how good he was, supposedly. Like, I didn't know.
God,
yeah. So and then I seen the Damn United was the first thing I ever seen. I mean, I seen loads of clips on social of him, how he illustrates himself in an interview.
Yeah.
Mate, just funny. Like he
doesn't give a shit, does he?
He's pretty much like this. Like Brian Clough was a walking podcast. Like he just used to just say what was on his head. That's what he used to do. But like I've looked a little bit at him and what he did around the Forest era. So I've got a couple of pointers.
Go on.
He previously won the league with Derby County in 1971-1972. They reached the semi-finals of the European Cup the following year. So he'd had a half-decent cup run as well. His relationship with the Derby chairman, Sam Longson, I think he was called, had deteriorated. And I think Taylor resigned, so Taylor was his right-hand man, his number 2. And then, following an 8-month spell in charge, he ended up leaving, and then he joined Brighton in the 3rd division as the manager for 8 months. Like, you've gone from being Premier League title contenders, playing in Europe, to then, I tell you what, I'll just take. Remember when Sven did it? We're not scouting.
Yeah.
I'll just go there, for a bit. It'll be a laugh. So he did that, and then he got offered the Nottingham Forest job in 1975-1976 season after being sacked by Leeds, the damn United, and that documentary. So 18 months after his appointment, he was reunited with Peter Taylor, who obviously left at Derby. And then he was in the football second division, it was, which is the Championship. Yeah, it would be the Championship, wouldn't it? So
you're always converting, aren't you?
Yeah. So it's the equivalent of the Championship. So they got promoted by finishing third in the 1976-77 season. He had the likes of Martin O'Neill, Viv Anderson in the squad then, but not the Martin O'Neill and Viv Anderson that we've heard about. It was an early stages of the two guys within the career. So he transformed both of them. He moved a few players around. He signed a player from Liverpool, I can't remember what he was called. He was a striker. He moved into fullback. He moved into centre half. Because he was a meathead and he just loved heading and tackling. I can't remember the name of him for the life of me. I've not got it in these notes.
Because goal scorers, with both strikers, you just want to score goals. Once you're going, yeah, mate, you're going over end of pitch.
Yeah, well, that's what happened. Yeah. Like, and don't forget, he signed 3 players from Liverpool who was in the first division, and he just got Forest. So he signed 2 of them when he first took over. So he had to. There was one. I think was it Walker. I can't remember what he was called. So there was one that he wanted to sign. He was a centre half as well. He wanted to sign him, and he was like, "Well, I want you to come to Nottingham Forest." And he's like, "I'm not being funny, but I play for Liverpool. Liverpool in the 70s. Were the boys, weren't they?" So he was like, "I'm not really that interested." He's like, "Listen, come. Great things are happening at Forest."
Have you heard some of the stories about how he got people to sign?
Well, this is one of the stories I'm going to tell you about. So he's then gone, right, we'll sign you for this much. You can have anything you want. What do you need? He's like, well, funny you say that, because I need a washing machine. My missus' washing machine's packed in. I could do with a washing machine. Consider it done, my son. He just, the next day, the guy says, I've turned up to training. I've walked into Nottingham Forest's training ground, and there's 2 women stood at the front, and they're like, "You're that Walker or whoever he is." Yeah. He's like, "Yeah." She was like, "Right, well, I've got a bone to pick with you. Because of you, I haven't got a washing machine." And then they've gone in, and he's imported an industrial washing machine, Clough, from the club to his house. so that he can sign. So the club's without a washing machine because he's got one, and he's done that. So he signed him, and then he brought a few people in. He transformed not just them, but Martin O'Neill and Viv Anderson, who's 2 young players within the squad. And then, despite loads of backlash from the Football League in 1977-1978 season, in the first division, which is the Premier League, they won the league and the League Cup. So the league didn't want them to win it. It was proper against them, all the reports, the news. Like, what he'd done is he'd gone in and he's wheeled and dealed his way. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Proper minder job.
Yeah, pretty much probably like probably in our area, like an area Redknapp.
Yeah.
What, like, the kind of deals that he would have done, and maybe to a younger person that's
Brian Clough transfer window.
Maybe it's funny when he did that one. Maybe to the point of like how Chelsea bought the league. Yeah. I'm saying that in inverted commas because like I think everybody has to buy a league now. Yeah. So like Chelsea and City bought the league.
You're not going to win a league without investing, are you?
Nah, you have to now. And yeah, so in 1977-1978 season, so he took over in 75-76. They got promoted 76-77, 77-78, won the league and the League Cup. 78-79, won the Champions of Europe. So there was the European Cup, won the Champions League, the proper Champions League, because they won it. I'm just going back to last week. And they won the League Cup as well. They then signed Trevor Francis for £1 million, and it was a world record fee. Trevor Francis must have been unreal because I just thought he was a commentator.
Yeah, I just remember him from Sheffield Wednesday. My only recollection of him.
Yeah, I remember him with big ties with Birmingham because he was the player manager and that. Was it? From when I was growing up, yeah. So yeah, they signed him, and this is mad. You know, like cup ties. Remember cup tie? Like people get cup tied and that.
Yeah,
so now during our day, you'd sign in January transfer window. If you played in the FA Cup or the Champions League, you can't play in the FA Cup or the Champions League for your club. Well, listen to this for a loophole. So he signed for a record fee. He'd already played in the European Cup. couldn't play because he was cup tied. But on the last game, if you made it to the final, they could play. And he scored the winner.
No way.
He played. It was the only goal he
Just
scored.
a free-for-all.
It was the only goal he scored in the comp, and it was the winner because he was cup tied. But because of the last game, for some mad reason, they said, "Yeah, you can play. Yeah, all your new signings can play now if you make it to the final."
Do what you want.
And the backlash of that is Archie Gemmell got left out,
Right.
which then he fell out, and he was like one of Clough's main guys. And then he fell out with Clough and left the next season,
Right.
because he didn't get to play in the Champions League final. And just a bit of, like, before we go into some of the mad stories that me and you have both heard, and his interviews and that, like, I'm just going to reel off a few things that he did within that era for Nottingham Forest, which is pretty much like we talk about career mode and playing football manager on computer games. Like, he's a real life football manager, like real life. Football League Second Division 1976-77 season, they got promoted from the Second Division, which is our version of the Championship, finished third. Football League First Division 77-78 champions, so they got promoted and then they won the so you get promoted, that's like Fulham, getting promoted from the Championship and then winning the Premier League the next season. In 77-78 League Cup champions, 78-79 European Cup champions, League Cup champions again in 78-79, European Super Cup 79, European Cup champions 79, 1979-80 season, League Cup 1988-89, League Cup 1989-1990.
That's madness.
So it took a Championship side and made them double European Cup winners, and 3-time League Cup winners. And
it's nothing.
And the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
For good stead.
Yeah, like
that, isn't it?
That ridiculous, and it's all because of his man management style. Like how he managed. Like, I don't really know too much of how technically good he was as a football manager, but he must be. You've got to be in order to win stuff like that. But like, it just shows like what type of a guy he was, and like some of the clips that we see and some of the things that we've done. Like I see an interview at the beginning of that, the I Believe in Miracles documentary. Like, go and watch it, man. Even if you're not a documentary, just watch it, because
I love football documentaries, you know.
There's some comedy clips in it though. Like he's sitting having an interview with him. I can't remember who the England manager was. The England manager, and then Jimmy Greaves or someone. No, what's he called? The one with the big chin, Jimmy Hill. And he pretty much, like, they sat there talking about the games like a match of the day. And then Cloughie just goes like that, like, I'm not being funny, my friend, but you know I'm a better manager than you. Like, just fully outs him. Just fully outs him. I'm a better manager than you.
Because it was beef for the England job, wasn't it? Because obviously the way he was.
He should have got it, and he didn't get it, so he was like, I'm a better manager than you. Me and you both know that should be sat in that seat. And you know I'm much better than you. And the guy was like, the England manager's like, I can't really disagree with you there. Like, mate, imagine Gareth Southgate saying that to Wayne Rooney tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? You are better than me, mate, but I'm doing the job at the moment. So like,
tough shit.
But he just used to pull people on things.
Yeah, it just had, like, I've watched some interviews and they're on the verge of cringy, aren't they? Because you're watching, you're like, and he's like, what are you asking me this question for? I don't really like you. I don't really like the way you're asking these questions. Or like, you'll just go at someone. Yeah. It's madness. I think it might have been a TikTok again, and he was saying when the crazy gang comes to Nottingham Forest, and Vinnie Jones and all that, banged them, get all blasted up. So he'd ask his assistant, go down and ask him to turn the music down. So he goes in, knocks on the door, Vinnie Jones answers, can you turn the music down? Yeah, no worries. Turns it down. Gets back to the top, turns it back up again. So he said, will you go down, and this time say please. So he's gone back down again. Asked him, please will you turn it down? Yeah, no worries, turn it back up. So he said, third time, Brian Clough's gone down himself. Not even knocked, just barged his way into the away dressing room, pair of scissors, cut the cord, smashed it, walked off. He said this was like 5-3 on a Saturday.
Just before kick-off? Yeah. Oh,
he said, as soon as you want to, like, no, I'm not having any of this.
Yeah, do you know what, I seen...
Imagine, like, nowadays, like, Guardiola going down, just fuck off,
Well,
mate.
the thing is, they'd get fined.
Yeah.
They'd end up being suspended for 4 games. The club would have to contemplate sacking them.
That's
Oh,
it.
that's nonsense, mate. That
There's
was
no
part of
character, is there?
the, yeah, that was part of the banter and part
Yeah.
of that. Like, them lot, the crazy gang probably knew Clough Fifa was here.
Yeah.
Like, so let's just keep winding him up,
Yeah.
and it would have just all been part of the day. Like, that's why amateur football and semi-pro football there's still bits of that there.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because
football's like,
it's not heavily.
it's quite robotic now, isn't it, from the top down, and as you get into them lower leagues, that's
Even-
when you get football back a bit.
Even the way they're interviewed, even the way like the media trained,
Yeah.
like not just footballers, boxers. These guys are media trained now to just answer the questions that they're asked, and like politicians, like divert the question. Like, I don't want to see that. I want somebody to just be honest. Mate, I was fuming today.
Yeah.
Like, I can't believe we
I
got
played
beat by
shit,
them.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe we got beat by them. They was awful and we got beat by them. Like, I like hearing that.
Because you see it on Twitter now, don't you? Like, oh, sorry to let you down, we go again, and you're like, mate, just copy and paste that all day long.
I don't believe that you give a shit.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Whereas like back in that time, and like I said, even in semi-pro football, like people like mean what they say, and it's all based off like impulse.
Yeah.
And I like
Impulse
that.
and
Like,
emotion.
and you shouldn't take it. It's like comedians don't take seriously with what they say. If you're angry and you're upset, you'll say stupid stuff.
It's
not
like
9
if
times out
a
of 10.
manager comes in after and they interview him straight away because they want a reaction, so he goes at the referee and says he's shy, blah blah blah.
You get fired.
You're gonna get a fight. Well, don't ask me a question then, because I'm gonna tell you.
But this is what I mean, and this
Yeah.
is why I was so angry when before you came in to set up for last week. I was just watching these reporters, and that's what they do.
Yeah.
They do it on purpose to allow these guys, the managers, the coaches, to get in a predicament that they shouldn't really be put in, so that they can sell this news article or this story.
Clickbait, innit,
It's
basically.
clickbait.
Yeah.
And us as just a normal football fan, like just somebody who just enjoys football, I want to see them lose their head. I want to see them moan and say the referee was crap, VAR took too long.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Imagine if Clough was in this era
Oh, mate,
right now.
never have been allowed, would it?
He would have walked to Sedgley Park and broke the van. He'd have cut the wire for VAR, and he'd just said, get rid of it. Like, I like the idea of it. I mean, it's probably something for us to chat about next week.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, but they're messing about with it. And
Yeah.
like, people are too scared to say stuff. Cloughie would have just outright had it, and maybe Ferguson and Vieira.
Yeah.
Not Vieira, Ferguson and
Wenger and that.
Wenger. I reckon them guys would have
Yeah.
been the same. Mate, one of the funny ones, funny clips or memories of Clough doing what he was doing was Kevin Campbell he kept wanting to sign Kevin Campbell.
I was gonna say at the end, if you're not listening to Kevin Campbell podcast, I think it's up under the cosh.
Yeah.
Listen to it, and I think an old story, brilliant.
The one where he kept trying to sign him, didn't he?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to play up front, and he never went. And then I think he was playing for Arsenal at the time. So he's seen him. They've turned up. It must have been against Forest, and he's gone. He's seen Campbell walking through the corridor. He's gone, oi. He said he was waiting for him.
Yeah.
So I felt like he was waiting for me. Like that scene in The Longest Yard,
Yeah.
where the guy waits at the back and tells him to throw the game, and he's pulled him and said, right, listen, boy. He used to call him boy or son. Listen, boy. You better not upset me today. And he's like, what are you on about? I'm on the bench. I'm not even playing.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, boy, you don't upset me today. I don't want you upsetting me for you turning me down. I don't want you upsetting me. Because if you do, I'm going to punch you in the chest right in this tunnel. Anyway, so Campbell sat on the bench and he said, the game's going on. And I look over to Forest's bench and Clough's just staring at me. So the match is going on and Clough's just eyeing him up, just full blown, just staring at him. He says, and then when I look at him, he goes like that. Shows him the fist, like as if to say, I've told you.
Him out.
Yeah. And then he said, he's 1-1, or they're getting beat 1-0, I think he says. And then the manager goes, right, you're going on. So he goes, all right. He says, I'm warming up down the side, and I look down to the bench to see if I'm getting the finger to start. And Clough's just stood up, just staring at me. He's like, what's going on here? He says, I got brought on. And when I got brought on, I set a goal up straight away.
Yeah.
He says, I celebrate, and as I'm jogging back to the centre circle, he stood in his green, green jumper. Yeah. Stood in his green jumper, just staring at me, shaking his head, like, I told you. So then I go and get the winner. He said that when I celebrated. He said that when I was walking off the pitch, he did. punched me in the chest.
Mad guy, weren't he?
It's just like the characters being brought out of the game. And like a character like that, like look at what his record did, especially at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Like he's that character. Like a character is what makes you follow. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you get attracted to someone.
The reason why Mourinho was unreal in his early years is because you got behind the man, the character, and you believed in everything he did and everything he said. The same with Alex Ferguson. I really believe now in this day and age, them types of characters would struggle with these kids. Yeah. Mourinho's doing it now. Yeah. He's struggling now, and it's because these people are mollycoddled, massively mollycoddled, and like if you have a go at somebody, they don't like you then,
well,
and they want to get away.
John Terry said it in an interview. He was at Aston Villa, and he was assistant manager, and he was called Dean Smith. Said go and have a word. I can't remember what the player was called. Go and have a word with him. He's not playing well. So he said, I'm gonna go and just give him an absolute rollicking. Not old school. You shit, blah blah blah. You need to win the game. And Dean Smith went, have you asked him how his family life is? And basically then he had to like go, family life. Then it was like his wife's had a baby and she's not been over here and like blah blah blah. And we ended up giving him a couple of days off and he'd come back a new player. Yeah. He said, and we've had to change. Like in the old days, it would have just been, well, can you sort your shit out? Yeah. You're playing shite, you're going to get sold or whatever. Yeah. He said, now obviously it's you've got to think a little bit more, haven't you?
And that style of manager, like Mourinho, I'll always do it all right at Roma. He struggles. Like at United, he'll be there for a couple of seasons. Yeah. But then that will wear thin. Like that managing with an iron fist or being a bit aggressive to get a result. Like
people are soft asses out nowadays.
100%.
Especially football.
So. Yeah.
Like football's quite cutthroat.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to take criticism, haven't you? And you've got to take it on board. And it seems
I can't imagine like going for a big Hollywood movie role and you up against Tom Cruise and frigging you do your bit and the director goes, that was crap mate, see you later.
Yeah.
Like you going, yeah no, but 1 minute, my family life, my head, I'm just not in a good place. But why have you turned up? Yeah. Just don't play. No. don't audition. Do you know what I mean? It's properly been took out, and I think that's why Sam Allardyces aren't getting jobs now.
Yeah, because the old guard.
And they're bringing the newest style of manager in where they can relate more to the younger type of player. Because managers are getting younger, aren't they? Like I don't remember when we was kids. I don't remember looking on a sideline and seeing a guy with black hair. It was all old.
Yeah.
All the managers was all old. Like none of them were young, was it? There was all like 50, 60 plus. Do you know what I mean?
You players, you got your coaching things, and
yeah. Like but now they're like Nagelsmann. That's the Borussia. What am I on about? Bayern Munich manager. The guy's 30 odd.
I know.
Do you know what I mean? And he's managing Bayern Munich, rightly so, by the way, because he's a class manager. But like, that's what it's changed now. Yeah. Like they want younger-minded people with different view and maybe a better management style than the old school. But the thing for me is, the old school's funny to watch.
Yeah, that's it. It's entertainment, isn't it?
Yeah.
Listen. I watched. I was on Twitter. I was on socials. I was on Twitter.
Always.
And I sent this thing. Phil Jones versus Harry Maguire. So on United, I don't know if you're on Twitter at all. But if you go on United's Twitter nowadays, it's fucking awful, basically.
It's like Arsenal fan TV.
Yeah. Oh, it's awful. And somebody put like, obviously Martial's just gone to Sevilla. And everyone's like, all right, Martial FC fans can like go with them type thing, and you got your Pogba FC fans, and he's like, somebody had said like back in the old days, you didn't have Rooney FC or like Van Nistelrooy FC, you just supported United. But nowadays, now obviously after Phil Jones made his first appearance in 2 years, and he just smashed it out of the park, and then obviously his fault was all over the place, isn't there? Of him like jumping up proper psyched up, crying as he's walking off. People are now calling for Phil Jones to play over Harry Maguire. So I thought it'd be quite fun to have a little bit of that. Would you rather?
Right, yeah, that's a good shout.
So we'll kick it off with: would you rather have Phil Jones partnering Varane or Harry Maguire?
Probably Harry Maguire.
yeah. Right, next one.
Because like what I see of Phil Jones the other day was that he was prepared to graft.
Yeah.
He's prepared to work hard and stick his head where, like Like John Terry used
he always does, though, doesn't he? He sticks it like a bit of a Vidic.
Yeah,
Stick his head somewhere.
Stick your head anywhere. And when things aren't going right, fans proper love that. But there's a matter of time before United want to play from the back and somebody will pass him the football, he'll take a touch, he'll get pressured by a quick forward, and he'll give the ball away, and he'll create a goal against, and then everybody will be like, he's shit, why have we even started him?
Do you know what's mad though? When we signed him from Blackburn, talks of him like future England captain,
world's best centre back and all that.
And then obviously injuries have just dogged him, haven't they, basically.
Yeah.
And then I think when him and Smalling were a partnership and we was going through one of our shit phases that seems to be the norm at the minute, but we're going through a real bad patch. Obviously, them two have loads of flack.
Oh mate,
and it's just ruined him. It's ruined him.
Yeah, it has ruined him. His mentality is gone. Do you know what I mean? And like the best thing that could have happened for him was for him to have a good game. And the thing is he had a good game.
He did.
He wasn't outstanding.
No.
He had a good game. And who was it against?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Yeah, mid-table team.
Yeah.
Like he had a good game, but like Harry Maguire. When I seen Harry Maguire at Leicester City, you couldn't touch the guy.
No.
You could not touch him. He was unreal.
And Maguire in England as well with Stones.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yeah. You can't touch him. I think it's the pressure of playing for United.
Do you reckon it's the pressure of captaincy as well?
Yeah, I don't know why he's the captain. He don't strike me as a captain.
No.
I don't look at him and think leader. Do you know what I mean? Even when he was at Hull, when he was at Leicester, I didn't think he was a leader.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like in England, I don't see him as a leader. Do you know? I don't. And
it's quite hard that United to pinpoint a captain for me.
Yeah, but to answer your question, I'd probably go Maguire still.
Maguire.
Because I reckon you'd get more better games out of Maguire than you would do out of Finger. And regardless, I know people will moan and say, but he's frigging, he was worth this much money and he's underperforming. He's underperforming because the team and the club and the squad are underperforming.
As a whole.
Yeah, he's one piece to a massive jigsaw puzzle that's fucked. There's pieces of that puzzle that aren't even there, so you can't even build it. Do you know what I mean?
No.
What one would I say? Would you rather? Oh, here's a good one. Another United one for you. Would you rather Matic or Fellaini?
I fucking hated Fellaini. I was absolutely buzzing when Solskjaer come in and turfed him off to China.
Who brought him in?
Moyes' his first signing, wasn't it? Big signing for your lads here,
Put him up front.
Fucking microphone will turn up.
And put him up front as well.
I mean, to be fair, right, as a plan B, chuck him on, he scored us some goals, right? But as a marquee signing, as your first manager, he just wasn't for me. He was an absolute...
I think he was proper. When I watched him at Everton, he was clumsy.
Yeah, he just...
one of the clumsiest guys.
He was a certain booking.
But for Everton, they played get the ball in the box and score headers.
Yeah, they played with strengths, didn't they?
So it worked for him. But United, it was like counter-attack. The guy can't run.
No.
Well,
and what was worse, Mourinho fucking loved him.
As well.
So he was like, just played him out, and I was like, oh god, there's so many better players that he could play.
And the thing is I think he played everywhere down the middle, apart from centre half. Played holding midfield, played centre midfield, played attacking midfield, he played up front. Like, who are you saying though? Matic or...
I like Matic, mate. I like Matic.
You like Matic?
Yeah.
I think he's overrated, mate.
I wish we'd have got him earlier in his career.
I didn't even rate him at Chelsea.
I liked him, mate. I like it. He's a bit of a dickhead. I like that in the midfield, a bit of a get your elbow in there, and he'll just sit. And I mean, to be fair, he had a couple of seasons where he was slow as shit, and all he did was pass it backwards. But then he transformed.
Mate, I've only ever seen him pass it side to side or back. I've never seen him penetrate any forward ball.
He had a couple of games like that, but I remember I think it might have been coincidentally when Solskjaer come in and he ran forward and I went, fucking hell! Yeah. I didn't know he could go that way. But out of the two, I'd have Matic, mate.
Would you have Matic?
I couldn't stand to watch Fellaini United top again.
Do you know what? I'd have Fellaini.
Would you?
Yeah, do you know why? Because even though I just said everything, I just contradicted myself loads, but even though I just said he's clumsy and he's thinking, you put him in the mix and something will come.
You've got that.
And if you've got Ronaldo off him, if you've got just people around him that are nippy, then it's going to drop for them. Do you know what I mean? Whereas for Matic, mate, I don't he don't do anything for me. Do you know what I mean? I don't see him win proper big challenges anymore. I don't see him create chances anymore. He just gets it and goes. He plays safe. He's the safest player. He's the safest player now to date. I'd say the safest player, and I call them crabs. I hate midfielders that go side to side. I hate crabs. I hate them. And he's the safest player. I think he's been very lucky because he's played in good teams where he can just, like you'd say Busquets. He plays a similar position to Busquets, but Busquets is a genius.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And in games,
different levels. I don't know.
In games, like it was the same for me when I used to watch Paul Scholes. In games, I'd look at Busquets and I'd be like, why do people think he's that good? Don't really do anything.
Yeah.
But then he'll penetrate the ball. Will just go. He'll get it and he'll put it where it needs to go, and they'll be on the counter attack or on the attack. And Scholes used to do the same.
Talking of Scholes, I always see these things. Scholes were trending on Twitter yesterday,
Right.
and it's the same old. Like
Who's better?
Guardiola says this, and Messi said like this, and Xavi was like, best midfielder. I'd love to ask these people if it's actually true, because these quotes, like Pirlo was like best midfielder I've ever seen, but I want to know if these are true because I see them all the time. They're constantly like regurgitating them, like Twitter and stuff like that. He was fucking brilliant.
I watched the interview where Pep Guardiola says Paul Scholes, if you could have any player out of the United team, it was the time when they played the Champions League final at Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. We got dicked off Barcelona twice.
Mate, naturally, because they do dicking everybody around that time. And like, the mad thing is most United fans thought they was going to win that game. And I
thought we had a chance on one of them.
As a guy,
might have been the second one. I thought we had a chance.
As a guy that loves Spanish football, I was like, and I watch it religiously, as you know. I was like, mate,
that first one
around that time, I was like, you don't know what you're getting yourselves into. Honestly, like you just don't. Like you would have needed 5 Sun G Parks to break that team down. That's what you would have needed, and you didn't have them. And it masked you a little bit because Rooney scored early.
Yeah.
And you thought, oh, we've got him in the bag here, and then that was the last touch anybody had, and they dominated it. But in an interview leading up to that game, they asked Alex Ferguson, which Barcelona player would you have? And he was like, stupid question. Like, are you daft? It's Messi all day. Like, are you stupid?
Yeah.
And then they asked Pep about who would he have out of the United team. And at the time, you had Rooney. Was it Rooney, Ronaldo, and Tevez? Was it?
Yeah.
Was it?
Tevez was gone.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Ronaldo had gone.
Had they? Right. Well, Rooney was the main man.
Yeah.
He said Scholes. He said Paul Scholes is a genius.
Yeah.
I think what them types of footballers or managers or coaches, they see what we don't, the off the ball stuff, how they bring people into play, the runs that they make that opens it up for someone else.
Scholes always had. Remember, I had a season ticket around that time, and I remember just watching him for one game, and he always had 5 yards of space, like a square. Around wherever it was just space.
Sat nav though as well.
It was crazy. Just get the ball, ping, gone. Yeah. It was mental.
Like what I think of some others of them, like would you rather's. Like the obvious ones is Lampard, Gerrard.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, actually, would you rather? I've robbed it because you said it to me on a text before. Would you rather Alan Shearer or Andy Cole?
Oh man, I'm a bit quick with this one, but I loved Andy Cole when growing up.
Mate, he was so underrated.
He was like my striker.
I think he's the most underrated forward, British forward, English forward, most underrated.
He was just there. He scored all different. I don't think did he score one penalty? I think
he didn't take penalties.
I'm sure the record was, it might have been one on. It might have been on there.
He didn't believe in him, did he? Him and the Brazilian Ronaldo didn't believe him.
But he was just everywhere. Cole, even for Newcastle.
Mate, Newcastle, he scored 34 Premier League goals, didn't he?
Which links me nicely into because we bought him. Like obviously, there was no transfer window. Remember with the swap deal with Gillespie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because they swapped Cole, but was it 32 mil as well?
No, it was.
He was the record 19. Was it 19?
I had 17 in my head, so it might be
17 million. Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah, 17 million.
So Gillespie was just coming up there, and then obviously swapped him for Cole.
He was alright, Gillespie. I remember him.
It was decent, but obviously I bought him. I think it was something mad like October or something. That would you rather? This is we'll link it all in because obviously transfer window now. Have the old style transfer window, well not just transfer like from start to
Season
finish,
start, just all the way through.
Just whenever you want.
Can sign them when you want.
Or would you rather have the 2 windows?
Good question that. I don't know.
Because up until League 2, obviously you got the windows, haven't you? And then non-league is just starting to play them as and when
as
you
and
want.
when, yeah.
I think it'd make it loads more exciting. You could just go whenever you want.
Again, I think it's probably to do with the media. I think it's a good thing to do. Like, look at the media coverage you get
and
now.
they have that massive deadline day, Big Ben ringing and stuff like that.
Look at the media coverage. People outside grounds, people turning up with dildos and that in the background, blow up dolls.
But it's not so, aren't they? They're like inside the grounds, aren't they?
COVID saved them. COVID saved them because people always come up with more new inventive ways.
It was brilliant, weren't it, watching it?
To mash up the presenter, the reporter. I don't know. Is my honest answer is I'm probably gonna, as we're talking about, I'm probably gonna to and fro with
what you want.
I would say all the way round, but then in this day and age, you've got some big hitters that'll just be like, oh, we're 3 points off. Let's just buy 8 new players.
Miles wanted to imagine going into February and I'm just going to spend 200 million bump. Yeah. And then out of nowhere win league. And the mad Newcastle, say for instance.
And the mad thing is, you could just do it, and you could raid the team that you're playing against.
Yeah.
So you could just go to Chelsea. City could go to Liverpool and go, right, we want Salah, we want Mane, and we're going to give you 800 million. Yeah. So I imagine if they got rid of fair play as well, because back then there was no fair play, was there? Like we just talked about, Clough took over Nottingham Forest and signed Liverpool players that was in division above playing in European football. Do you know what I mean?
I think even if you just do it for one season, for old time's sake,
just for a buzz,
I reckon the league would be brilliant.
It'd be exciting. It'd be like, do you know what it'd be like? It'd be like fantasy football.
Yeah.
That's what it'd be. Players would just be like, and players and agents would just be buzzing. Because they'd be like, mate, I haven't played for 2 months. Right, well, let's get a move for you.
Yeah.
It's fair. Let's get a move.
Because, say now, obviously.
It's May, let's get a move.
End of January, then you're stuck at the club then until July, aren't you, really?
Yeah.
And if you're not playing, then you could be off skis or somebody else, in a relegation scrap, I'm thinking more of.
Yeah.
But we need all these players.
But to play devil's advocate, is that not is that not play a part of it in that clever? I tell you what, we've got Lingard, we know that they want him and they could break into the top 4, and we're trying to get in the top 4. Tell you what, let's just sit him on ice and let him sign him at the start of the season. So it's like chess, innit?
Yeah.
Like a game, with the transfer windows. I'm arguing with myself while I'm speaking to him. In my head, I'm like, no, let it run, because it'd be well more exciting. Because a team that's 10 points from safety could then go...
Just go out and buy
ballers. Well, the thing is you could get to August, September, October. You could get to November and you could be all like Newcastle. Newcastle got the buyout in November or December and just go, right, let's go to town now.
Yeah.
We're 10 points off safety. Let's just buy 10 new players, and then Newcastle will probably be mid-table now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So in that respect, that'd be just exciting. It'd be a buzz
to
say. It'd be tight on Burnley and Brentford, but it'd be a buzz to watch.
If someone just come in, a load of money, and then just mid-season, out of nowhere,
just buys who you want. And then on the flip side, the transfer windows are decent because you know what the squad is. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what the squad is. You know who's going to play. You've got a good idea. Imagine trying to do. I mean, I don't do it. I've tried it a few times, but I end up switching off. Imagine trying to do a fantasy football with no transfer windows. You'd be constantly transferring players all the time because they're going
wild card every single week.
Yeah, I think for what it was back then, it worked for the time it was. But I think the windows now work well. The only thing is that what I think kills it is the press batter it.
Yeah.
The overlay.
Well, every night you're on it, and to be fair,
once you've watched the same 4 people over and over again.
Yeah, because there's not much going on, especially January. And there's now going on.
The mad thing is the big clubs don't do now anymore. No. Not in a January window, unless they've got injuries.
You see, for the next couple of players, with Jesse Lingard to Newcastle, and that'd be your main story.
Yeah. Oh, this is totally left field, this, but I've been watching the African Cup of Nations, and the other week, or a couple of games ago, a team, because of COVID and because of injuries, all of the keepers was out.
Oh,
But he had to play.
all I've seen him was like a number 3 in his back or something.
He had to put tape on it. so like, who was it? Was it against Cameroon? No,
I don't know.
Cameroon are out. It was against. Yeah, it was Cameroon. Sorry, Cameroon is silly. So what happened was, the two goalies out of the 3 got COVID.
Right.
So they couldn't come to the stadium. One of them got injured in training. So he had to play a fullback. They had to play a left back in net because they couldn't go. Like,
Let's just drop someone in.
well, they couldn't postpone match because
No.
it finishes at a certain date, which was mad because then this team has played this left back in net. Mate, they only got beat 2-1, and they had the man sent off.
No way.
Off the favourites, Cameroon.
That's mad. That.
Mate, you should have seen some of the saves. Some of the saves he was doing was.
Bet he were buzzing.
Mate, he was saving the ball, doing slide tackles, and like he'd get the ball and do a throw in instead of throw it out. Oh, it was just. Do you know like when you used to play old school FIFA, you used to put keepers up front? And, mate, it was so good to watch. But again, like the Premier League, Arsenal, we've got 2 players with COVID, we've got 18 players out injured. We can't play the match. Let's postpone it.
Yeah.
What's that about, mate? You've got a youth development squad, of 19, 20 players. Put them in, man.
Yeah.
Play the kids. What's up with you?
And you never know. Like obviously, we had to do it with Rashford years ago.
Yeah.
We had no striker.
Makeda. Yeah.
You just come in and look at him. You just never know what's there, do you?
Yeah. I mean, I hate that. I hate the fact that they can use COVID as an excuse to have a game postponed. It winds me up when you've got a small nation in the AFCON putting a player in net. Do you know what I mean? The rules for the Premier League is like, if you can't field 3 keepers, then you can have it off. So if you've got 3 keepers that have got COVID, you haven't got a keeper to play, and we don't want you to play an under-19s keeper because he isn't seasoned and he isn't good enough. Mate, he's your under-19 keeper. He should be the future of your club. Should be your future number 1. Why is he not getting a shot? Do you know what I mean? I tell you what, let's play him in the League Cup and give him a couple of games in the League Cup. Mate, that's like you said. That's your Rashford opportunity.
Yeah,
that's your Michael Owen opportunity. Michael Owen would have never got the exposure he got because of injuries. And look, it became the Ballon d'Or.
You just never know, do you?
Mate, like if an AFCON team can play a left back in net to get a game played, play against the tournament favourites, and get beat with a man sent off 2-1, just nearly make it in there. Then Arsenal, with a squad of 95 players, including a youth, can play on a Saturday for 1 week.
Easy.
Mate, I was fuming. I should have did that at the start.
I know, yeah. Speaking of youth players, right, we're going to go into career mode.
Ooh.
We've got a couple, about 5-10 minutes before our allotted 45 as we try and keep to.
Yeah, we're trying to keep
It's a stoppage time.
We rambled, don't we?
I've got a fucking mint youth academy at United. I've been proper picky this year.
Yeah.
Because like, we won the league last year, won the FA Cup, end up with like 750 million transfer. So I sacked all my scouts, got all 5 stars.
Yeah.
Sent them all over the gaff and literally.
What have you? So that's sending them all over the gaff. Do you mean like 3 months a stint? So 3 months they'll go there. So you've got 3 of them.
Well, one of the objectives, which winds me up, was I had to get more exposure in South America.
Right.
So I sent a scout over to Argentina.
And brought
a load over, so it was an easy one. But I have them. Usually it was like after a month, I'll make a decision. Like what the value is, because obviously you can see what the value is.
Yeah.
And see what the like potential is, and I usually try and marry it up and go, well, he'll be alright him.
Yeah.
But I've left it for like 2 or 3 months, and what I found though is loads of clubs are poaching me players.
Mate, yeah, you can't.
So
leave them. You can't.
I'm
leave
like
them.
2 months now. I do 2, and if they go, think right, they go 2 months, and if they're not the high enders in the 90s or top 80s, rejected.
Yeah. So I do something very similar, a little bit different than you though. I have my 3 scouts, and then because obviously I'm doing Malaga, so I ain't got Man United money. But I'm doing all right now in my 23-24 season.
Yeah, I've just been given 30 million for qualifying for Champions League knockouts.
Class.
30 million.
Yeah. So I've got so like my kind of like take on it is I have whatever country my club's from, 9 months, the full season. I scout from that, and I just scout any.
Yeah.
I don't be specific. I don't have keeper, goalie. I don't have anything specific. I just scout for that country for 9 months, and then the other 2, I do exactly what you do. 3 months, dart them about all over.
Yeah,
so I'll start in South America, then I'll move across South America, North America. I'll come into Europe, do Europe, and then go over to Asia. and I do that throughout the season.
I've got fully invested and didn't want to do this for the United one because my career is in and out 2 or 3 seasons, but like obviously a lot. But
you've got to though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well,
so
I went from Bayern a season.
At the end of this season, you've got to leave.
Well, this will be my 2nd year, so I've got the 3rd year.
Right.
And what I'm doing, because obviously from Monaco,
yeah,
I looked for another job. I won the league with Monaco, and I was like, right, I'll have a look. And at that time, if you look at around 4 or 5 games in, a country always has loads of offers.
Yeah.
So at that time, with Bayern Munich, I thought, easy one. I'll jump over there. And then, second season, I got bored of Bayern Munich. I think it was just too easy.
Then which one of mine did I do years ago? Like, Inter Milan.
Yeah, I was just
winning everything. I didn't lose.
Yeah. It's boring.
Too easy. Yeah.
So then I went over to City United. There was Chelsea, City United, and I thought, gotta go United. Went over there, easily won the league. But a load of my players were like 30 plus. And then Barcelona come in for Sancho for like 250 million.
Yeah.
I thought, fuck it, I'll sell him. I've got Rashford, I've got Elanga. I'll sell him.
Yeah.
I'll regenerate it. 4 games in, bottom of the league, didn't win a game. Sold a load of players because they're like a squad of 40 odd.
Yeah,
I like it. I like a squad of about 23, 24. I like quite small.
I like a 25-man squad and then my youth players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyway, 4th game, I think 5th game, I won 1-0. I had to jump in because I don't usually like jumping in. To jump in and then went on like an 18 match unbeaten run.
Yeah. So
the point, I'm 2 points clear of Chelsea now.
Right.
I've just gone into January.
Have you? So I'm in, where am I now? I'm in March. So in my season, so it's my second season
right
at Malaga. My first season, like as I said last week, was absolutely dire, mate. Like it was just I had no money.
Proper stress headache.
I had no money. I had I could only afford to set up a youth academy and just rely on that. Sell players when my youth players was coming in because I only had 18 players.
Oh.
I survived last 4 games. The last month, it was just like a blitz of. I just won 4 in a row, survived, finished 15th because it was so tight. This year, it's even tighter, but I'm in the top half of the table. So I went through a phase. I mean, like I'm at March now. So I only signed 1 player in January because my squad's comfy. Like I let one go. I brought one in.
Do you ever do that with your squads like that? And you think I need to. Spice it up.
I need to just do something.
I need to spice up because the lads will like need a bit of competition.
As if it's real life.
Yeah. But then you're like, well, I don't want to sell any of them. And then
yeah. Well, so I brought in Borja Mayoral from Real Madrid, striker from Real Madrid.
Right.
And I had like a policy because I started to get a little bit of money, not much, but I started to get a little bit of money. And my policy was don't exceed 50 grand a week wages to players. So like all the original.
We've tried this with Moneyball, haven't we?
Yeah, all the original Malaga players are frigging like they was on like 6 grand a week, 8 grand a week, 12 grand a week. But when the careers coming, when the contracts are coming to an end, and we're in a top league now in La Liga, they want more money. So they've gone from 6 to 20, 18. You know what it's like? It's a big jump up in it.
Yeah, I'm a side bastard. Me and them wages.
Yeah,
told you I had 12 out of contract, and I've negotiated 8. And I literally say if they're on 60 grand, I'll offer them 65 to about 85, 90.
Yeah.
And if you don't like it, fuck off. Basically.
Well, with this Mayoral, I wanted him. I was desperate to get him. I thought just a little bit of backup to Brandon Thomas that I've got. I wanted him to take over because Brandon Thomas can play in 3 or 4 positions, so I can play him out on the left hand side. I play a 4-2-3-1. Which is it's a tight 3, 2 attacking mids, a centre forward or an attacking midfielder, depending on who I'm playing against, and then an outright striker. So what I did was I bought him, but he wouldn't want anything less than 77 grand a week.
Not bad.
So I took it because I didn't want to.
Look, lads, sorry, but you guys paid.
So I've kind of gone against what I set out to do, the Moneyball kind of thing.
The new limit is 77 grand.
Well, the new limit's 80. So I'm going with a new limit. But I'm excited because I've got money and I can afford this money on this player. But I know, like, as the thing goes on, you're going to have to increase people's wages or you're going to have to let them go. And I think that when we talked about Moneyball last week, that's the good thing about Moneyball. You just go, right, 60 grand a week, that's it. Anybody exceeds that, we sell them. It's as simple as that. With this
proper tough that though,
it
is. Because sometimes you emotionally get attached to a player.
Yeah, you do. And this career, this career isn't about that, but the next careers that we're going to start is going to be Moneyball for the pair of us. And what we should do, to be fair, is high-end Moneyball. One of us take up Moneyball at the like a brassic Moneyball, and the other one should go. You can exceed 300 grand a week, whatever you whatever it is.
Like me and United do at Malaga now, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. So maybe we flip it, and I go for I take on Newcastle and just try and get all the best players.
Just give them a load of dosh.
Yeah. So yeah, with this Malaga side now in the league, so we're currently in 6th place, but it's that tight. You've got Real Madrid that are top. They're like 8 points clear. Then you've got the top 4 are a point. They're like 8 points behind Madrid, but then you've got Barcelona, Valencia, Atletico Madrid, I think it's Seville, and then me. That's just below them. There's a point in it, and then below us is 3 points. So you could literally lose 2 games, and I could end up 9th. Do you know what I mean? And I'm in March, and I've looked at my running, I've got 9 games left. And 4 of my 9 games are the teams that are above me. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid. Like them 3 you're losing.
Do you ever look at when you? Because I do that on a monthly basis. I look at like my matches for the month, especially if I'm in a not so much at like me United like winning league sort of thing, but if I'm coming through, so say if I was doing a League 2 up to Premier League, right? Guesstimate that. I get a point here. You get 2 points there. About 3 points there. So they'll be like. Right, if I come out of this period, if I come out of this period here with like 9 points, I'll be buzzing.
No, I just play for wins.
Yeah,
that's what I do. Even against, I might be a bit more. My tactics might be a little bit different against your Real Madrids and that, so I might have to go counter attacking.
Right.
Rather than because I
don't change my I literally have my formation, the way I play.
Yeah.
That's it.
So but let's get it right. Malaga aren't going to beat Real Madrid if I play possession-based football. I keep.
You never know, man. One of them days.
Well, to be fair, saying that, I did in the Copa del Rey. I got in the semi-finals, didn't I? And I beat Barcelona in the quarters, and I just stuck to the same method. I played possession football. They had it's the 2 legs, so it was a 2-leg game, and I ended up. I think I got beat by 1. It was 2-1 in the first leg, and in the second leg, I won by an extra goal. I think I won 3-1. To be fair, but I remember looking at their squad when their lineup to start, and it was. They had Braithwaite up front, and like mad, just because they've obviously got Champions League games or whatever. So like I looked out there, but then I got spanked. Mate, I've not beat Valencia since I've been Malaga.
I mean, is that like a bogey team?
I get beat 3-1 and 2-1 off them. Like 3-1, 2-1, 3-1, 2-1, and then I played them in the semi-final of the Copa del Rey, and I got the total score was 4-1. I got beat. So I got beat 2-1 and then 3 something. Oh no, 2-1 and then 2-0. But yeah, I just can't beat them. I don't know what it is. Mate, they've got pure English players. They've signed loads of English players.
You find that as you go along with FIFA.
Yeah.
You're looking at like Declan Rice playing for Villarreal or something like
that. McTominay's at Villarreal.
Is it?
Yeah. Valencia have got Adamola Lookman. They've got what's he called? Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Yeah.
Who else have they got? They've got Harry Maguire at the back. Yeah, they've got it's like an English player. An English manager's took over and gone, you know what? Yeah, we'll just fill it with Neville players. Yeah, again, they're doing well too good to me to be taken over. But yeah, it's proper. I'm like you. I'm just bang into this Malaga one. And I said to you didn't I, last night, if I don't finish in a European place, I'm leaving. I'm getting off.
Do you want to get to January now though? I get proper itchy feet because I want the season to be over.
No,
I want to know when I'm finishing.
It's mad that because I prefer the second half.
Yeah,
I enjoy the second half. I think
it's quite a quick running. I'm like right.
No.
But I want to know what because I'm impatient. So I want to know when.
No, when you bang it on the socials, see what people are like about that. I enjoy the backhand. I don't enjoy the start.
Yeah.
The start bugs me because
I don't enjoy my start
because you got spanked. Yeah, but I don't really enjoy the start. I like after the January window.
When you're rocking.
Yeah, I like that bit, especially when I'm at like April, May. Like I always find, I think I said this to you. I always find that the last month or the last 8 games is always like do or die, or like something has to happen. Like I've never played a career where I'm not like I'm comfy. I know I'm exactly going to finish in this place.
With Monaco one, I think I won the league in March. Basically simmed it until the end of the season.
See, like, I've never had a career like that.
I just thought, stuff
like
it.
that.
Or if I win it with like 3 or 4 games to go, then it'll just be a case to get all the youngsters in. And just like blood them all for the next season. That's what I do.
Yeah.
So I try and win the league. I'll do what I'm doing as quick as I can.
Yeah.
And then I can just chill then after that.
Yeah.
That job, it must be a job and knock thing for us working. Job and not getting done, right? You can chill.
Yeah, no, I like the end. But yeah, like, what's your best career?
Well, I'm going to leave that for next week.
No.
I actually found a book. So when I was younger, I used to write season write-ups, and I would dig it out, and I think we should have like a bit of an Ian's diary. There's some proper cringy fucking write-ups in there.
Is there?
From like age 8, 9, right through to probably last week. No, do you know what? I stopped it. I told you I used to have a book of results.
Yeah, you had like stats and stuff like that.
And I think I stopped it probably.
I like the fact that FIFA's got the stats on the players now. But what I would like is for them to continue.
Overall stats.
Yeah, I know it's a lot, but now they've brought the PS5 out, surely the data can be saved and managed.
Yeah. Even like over 5 seasons.
Nah, mate. If it's a 15 season career, then just have it over 15 seasons. Surely some coder can sort that out. Like, because I like to see who's like, you know, like it does with your manager. It's your 500th game, it's your 50th game.
Well, mine was 300 the other day.
I'd like to see that with players. I'd like my players to be like, he's just become the all-time top goal scorer. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's a buzz. Add that FIFA if you're listening. Add that stuff in. Do you know what I mean? Like,
them little snippets.
Yeah, that's so little thing. I remember years ago, I used to moan because when my team got promoted, they didn't have the Premier League badges, and now they've sorted it out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like,
keep going on. One day they'll listen.
Mate, surely. Well, they send me the beta every year.
Yeah.
So they must be monitoring how often I play it because I'm religious on it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're playing it too much. Right, that's it for 1 week. But yeah, next week we'll have a chat about best careers. I'll put it out on social as well and see.
Yeah, best FIFA.
Everyone's always got a career that they like absolutely loved.
That they go back to. Right?
Yeah.
And a player as well.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I said they get emotionally attached to a player.
Yeah.
Sweet, happy days. Another one in the bag.
Decent.
What we up to this week?
Same old.
No.
Yeah.
Nothing myself, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
My little boy won Player of the Month. Player of the Week.
Nice.
Last week. Never seen a kid with a bigger certificate smiling in my life.
Oh, and proper cheesy smile.
Oh yeah, come in, but the fucking trophy's as big as if he could hardly lift it.
That's fucking class.
So he's got pride of place at my puppy. So that's your level now, mate.
First a minute.
Yeah. I'll start blooding you in. We've got the League Cup starting soon. Right, I'll see you all next week.